Hello, everyone. Welcome to Behind the Mic. I'm Gary Laubach, along with our new sideline reporter, Mike Joseph. Did a terrific job on Saturday with the American Sports Network. I hope you watched the football game. But this week, it is the Colgate Raiders. They come in 3-0 in the Patriot League, so disregard their 4-4 record. It's that 3-0 that is very, very important, and they have themselves a terrific win this past Saturday as they knocked off the Fordham Rams 31-29. Fordham ranked as high as 9 going into that football game. So right now, it's the Colgate Raiders who are sitting pretty as far as a Patriot League championship is concerned. As you look at Colgate, particularly this last ball game, there are some things that stick out that are a little scary, Mike. First of all, they held Chase Edmonds to just 51 yards rushing, 54 total yards rushing. They did sack the quarterback a number of times. And they are led by their defensive player of the week, Kyle Diener, who not only had 12 tackles in the ball game, but he knocked down that pass that would have tied it on the two-point conversion. Diener and the rest of the defensive unit, outstanding.
They were fantastic. I got a chance to watch that ball game, 8 sacks, which I think tells the story right there. Put a lot of pressure on that quick throwing game of Fordham, and then really got into the backfield and did some damage with penetration against Chase Edmonds. And he was running really sideline to sideline, really never got his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, and you know how dangerous he is. So that was a fantastic job by them. I think they had an advantage playing at home at Andy Kerr Stadium, a really tough place to play. But this weekend, they have to come down here and play. And I think Lafayette, with that outstanding effort they gave for most of the game, we saw some different changes defensively. We saw a little radar defense. We saw a secondary that was really pumped up to play. I thought Smalley played one of the best games he's played in a couple of years. And offensively, you saw Mickey Fine open the playbook a little bit, got 2 guys in the backfield, got the ball out of Drew's hand. The only big problem that we have right now is still protecting Drew on drop-back pass. And the biggest glaring problem we have is getting to the quarterback. We're just not sacking the quarterback. We're not getting there in time. We're hitting him as he releases, or we're hitting him just after he releases. We need to create more pressure on the quarterback, especially a guy like Jake Melville, who will sit in the pocket, and if you give him lanes to run, he'll take off. And if you don't get to him, he'll throw the football down the field.
Well, they don't only have the defensive player of the week, they also have the offensive player of the week in Jake Melville, as Mike alluded to. Melville has accounted for over 2,000 yards on this football team. And Mike, when you look at the numbers, the rushing numbers, he is basically the whole offense. They've got good receivers. They don't run the ball that much except with him.
Yeah, they do. They just go from Sullivan to McCarney to Melville. It's just plug and play. But these kids, he's fantastic, and he's so dangerous with his legs. Does a better job now of keeping his eyes down the field as he's scrambling, which he didn't do in the past. Before it was just kind of tuck it and run. If you don't stop him, you're going to lose the football game. It's as simple as that. You need to stop him running the football. You need to have 2 guys on him. This is a team that I always talk about that doesn't dabble in the zone read. They run the zone read. They're going to read the 3-tech. They're going to read the safety. They're going to read the end of the line of scrimmage. They do it to perfection, and they do the whole gamut. It's not a window dressing for them. They're going to run the football, and they're going to use him from the sideline to find out what you're in. So Lafayette's going to have to disguise coverage. They're going to have to disguise who's a quarterback player, who's a dive player. They're going to have to do a bunch of different things with their front 7 and then adding guys to the box to take Jake Melville away. If you don't, going to be a long day.
And will Lafayette be able to run the football? They did a much better job this past week. Deshaun Brown going over 100 yards rushing. So that will certainly be a key because Lafayette wants to keep the ball away from this Colgate offense. Promises to be a very interesting football game as Colgate takes on Lafayette, a 1 o'clock start on the Patriot League Network and, of course, on the Lafayette Sports Network. Mike and I will be there. Make sure you join Inside the Huddle with Mike Joseph this week as, again, he makes you a much smarter football observer. For all of us behind the mic, I'm Gary Laubach. We'll see you next week.